Hi again, in this video you'll learn how to create a function in Python and how to use that function. So let me go ahead and create a script. Let me name this my function.py. And let's go ahead and create the function. Creating a function will always begin with the def keyword, which means define. And that is followed by the name of the function. So you need to give your function a name. Let me name this minutes to hours. And as you may guess already, what I'm creating is a function that will convert minutes to hours. So you create the procedure on how to convert minutes to hours, and then you can call that procedure. So you can call that function. You can give that function any values when you call it, and the function will produce an output depending on the value and depending on the formula, on the procedures that you write in here. So let's go ahead and do that. Minutes to hours. Now functions normally they have some input and they produce some output. The input goes inside these brackets in here. In our case, the input could be minutes. So this is just a variable. You can give it any name that you want. You can give it any name that you want for the function name as well. So the input is minutes and then the output will be hours, but you don't write the output here. Here what to do, you always use a colon. Press enter and that will be auto indented. So as you see, the functions, everything that you write below the first line of the function definition is indented, and every line after that. So the def keyword, the name of the function, the input, and here we write the body of the function. What we want to do is let's say variable hours equals to minutes divided by 60. That should give us the hours. Note that if you are on Python 2, you want to do 60.0, because if you do that, you'll get an integer as an output and not a float. So in Python 2, you have to explicitly pass a float when you do division to get a number, to get a float with decimal points. I'm in Python 3, so I don't need to put 60.0 there. And yeah, this is a simple function, so this is what the function will perform, and then the last line of the function is normally a return keyword. So notice that these are reserved keywords, def and return. And what I want to return is, well, guess what? The output, which is hours. So that's the idea. We are getting minutes. The user will input a value for that later when we call the function, and then minutes will be divided by 60, and that operation, that number will be stored in the hours variable, which is a variable that exists only inside the function. So this is called a local variable. If you call it outside the function, it will not work, but we'll cover that later. And so then we return the value of that variable. Now I'll save this and open the terminal. Make some space there, and let me execute the script. You get nothing. The reason for that is because what you did here is you just defined a blueprint. You are not using that blueprint. So what you do next is you need to go ahead and use that blueprint. So which means you need to call that function. So backspace to go here to unindent. Unindenting means that you are done with the function definition. So when you start a new line, like here, that means you are not writing inside the function. And so to call a function, what you do is you just call the name of the function, minutes to hours, and then you open brackets. And then inside brackets you pass a value that you want to use as input. So let's say you want 70 minutes, you want to convert them to hours. Save the script, go and execute. Again, you will not get any output, but let's see. as I said, you won't get any output. So why is that? Well, that's because you didn't perform a print operation there. You didn't call a print function. So what you do is you do print, so open brackets, close brackets, and inside the brackets goes the function call. Save your script, go here, execute, and yeah, you get the hours. 70 minutes is equal to 1.1666 hours. So it's important to know that this value here, this is just a number. So you can see that by doing type and execute. Oh, sorry, I didn't print it out. And so this is a float number, so just a number. The function gets an input and it generates an output, which is defined by the hours variable. So whatever is stored in the hours variable, that is the value that the function will output. And yeah, you can do things like, you can use this output to do other operations. Let's say you want to add 10 hours there and you want to print that output, so expect this to be 11.1666, so on. And of course, now in your script you can add more functions if you like, like that, like seconds to hours, you pass seconds there, and here seconds, return hours, and so on. And of course this works separately, so you can say print seconds to hours and pass there. Actually we have to change this because this would be divided by 3600, and let's say this number of seconds, execute, and you get 2.0 hours. And you also get the other output in here, and this one here. Now, something important to know is that these are custom functions. And this one here is also a function, but this is a built-in function. So custom functions are functions created by you, and built-in functions are functions that are created by someone else. So in this case, print is created by Python authors, and print also has its own code, but it's more a low-level code, and it's actually written in C, so you won't be able to see the code for print. And yeah, this is an introduction to functions. In the next lecture, I'll show you some more advanced features of functions. So let's see you there.